The third edition of AEW Dynamite took place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania tonight. You start the show off with Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone welcoming us to the show. And you have a tag team tournament match. You have SoCal Uncensored against the Best Friends, and representing SCU is going to be Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian with no Christopher Daniels wrestling. And you have Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor of the Best Friends. So it was a fun matchup here. You had some good dives. You had a commercial break during the match went on for a while. So what you have here is SCU is clearly more over. The fans like them, but I like the Best Friends too. I think they're a good tag team. You had a entertaining matchup here. I thought Scorpio Sky did really good in particular. Eventually, the Best Friends lose the match to SCU. Trent and Sky, Trent's powerbombed by Kaz, and then Sky hits a drop kick on Trent while he's down, and he picks up the win. So they advance to the next round, and a good matchup here. Even though SCU is old, they're still over. Then you see some replays, and we go to commercial. And once we go to commercial, we see Santana and Ortiz coming to the ring, and they're facing two unknowns, Silver and Reynolds. Quick matchup here was virtually a complete squash. The team got nothing on Ortiz and Santana. They continue to push the inner circle, and once they win, Chris Jericho comes on the Titantron, and he officially announces that Santana and Ortiz are going to challenge the Young Bucks for a tag team match at Full Gear. And that's a good matchup to go with. I'm sure they'll have a great match. As to who wins, it'll be interesting. They're really behind the inner circle. They're being pushed like the NWO right now. So it could go with Ortiz and Santana pinning the Young Bucks. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. The Young Bucks are going to lose nothing losing that match. So it'd be a good decision. Good promo by Jericho hyping these guys up as well. So we go after that. We have a long video package with Cody Rhodes, and you have Brandy talking to him. That's how it starts, telling him everything that's coming up. They're hyping this up for Cody. You have Jim Ross. You have DDP. A lot of people close to Cody Rhodes hyping up his match with Chris Jericho. It means the world to him. The funny thing is, we know Jericho's wrestling right now, so I don't think it's a good idea. It kind of gives it away that he's going to beat Darby Allin and retain his title tonight. But it was a very good video package. Sets it up, and no Cody tonight, though. But it was a good video package setting up him and Jericho. And I like how they're not going to have everyone on every show. I think it's best to have everyone, once every 2 weeks you see some guys. Like, rotate people every few weeks. That's what they need to do. Don't show everyone every week, because then everyone will get fatigued. And that's a problem WWE always runs into. Just everyone on every show, everyone feels fatigued. Everyone's stale. So I think if you want to keep guys fresh, don't put them on every show. Next, we have Brooke Baker coming to the ring. She's challenging for the AEW Women's title against Rio, the champion. And I like this match a lot. I really enjoyed it. It started off a bit slow, but it got good right away. Fans really liked Rio. There was a bit of a dueling chant, Rio DMD. Brooke Baker is someone who, I don't know. I don't see her as a top female star. I think she is a star in women's division. I just don't see her as the top woman. I don't know. I don't think she has that in her just to be that. I don't get that presence from her. I don't get that superstar presence from her. I think she's a star. She's an upper mid-carder in women's. I just don't think she's that top female star that I think they wanted her to be, because she was the first female they signed. But they have a good matchup here. It was very entertaining. Rio's a fun wrestler to watch. She's very talented. Even though she's like so much younger than Brooke Baker, she has like 3 times her experience, which was a good thing that they kept bringing that up, because she trained in a Japanese dojo, and man, they put them through hell. This was a very entertaining match. It looked like there was a part where could they put on Brooke Baker? They teased it. My idea was you can't do it, because Brooke Baker would take the title from a woman who just won the inaugural world title 2 weeks ago. I don't think they're going to do that. I was a bit worried they'd have Nyla Rose come and ruin the match. Didn't happen, so that's good. It was an entertaining matchup. You had a good spot where Brooke Baker hits her submission. It looked like that could be it, but Rio gets out of it. Eventually, Rio gets a roll up, in which he hooks Britt's leg from the inside. She pins Britt. 1, 2, 3. Rio retains the title. Very entertaining matchup. Really enjoyed it, and they shake hands. So Britt stays babyface. Maybe she'll turn on Rio. Once we come back, they showed something with Daniels. I guess he was hurt earlier in the match. He's okay. But they showed Jungle Boy and Marco start coming to the ring. Luchasaurus won't be here tonight. I guess I don't know what happened with Luchasaurus, but I'll look it up. I guess he was injured. So that's what happened. He was out. He didn't accompany Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy to their match against the Lucha Bros, Pentagon and Phoenix. Entertaining match. Jurassic Express is one of the best tag teams in the world. They're very entertaining. They could be a lot of fun to watch. I think they're a great stable, but Lucha Bros are out of this world. Those guys are excellent. Still love their match with the Young Bucks from that AEW All Out show. One of my favorite ladder matches I've seen in a while. I thought that was awesome. So they're a great team. This was an entertaining match. They gave the other team a lot. They didn't squash them. I really think they have a lot invested in Jungle Boy, not just because his father was Luke Perry, who passed away, but because he just has that star experience. He's likable. He's an underdog. Teenage girls like him. I think they find him very attractive, so I think he can be a really big star for them, and that's Jungle Boy. But Lucha Bros get the win. They advance, and once I believe they're facing Private Party next week. Next is Pac. He comes out, and Justin Roberts calls him a bastard Pac. It's the bastard Pac. Stupid ring announcer. But he comes out. His tag team partner is Jon Moxley. They're facing Adam Page and Kenny Omega. So the story it goes back from last week, in which Moxley decided not to kill Omega with barbed wire. Moxley's now a face, while Pac is still heel. And the story they're telling is there's a lot of tension from last week, and they're probably building up to a match with Moxley and Pac at Full Gear, which will be an entertaining matchup for sure. The one thing I did not like is they decided to pin Pac, which I was not a fan of. I thought, I understand why they did it. It was a good way to do it. They did protect him, but I don't know if I would have beaten him so early in AEW because he was undefeated. He got big wins already, but he did. He beat Kenny Omega cleanly, then he beat Adam Page, so I don't know if that would have beaten him, but he was protected. Moxley turned on him, gave him his finisher, and took a big finisher from Page, and then Omega and got finished by Hangman with his dead eye. So they protected him. It's just, I don't know if I would have beaten him this early, but the whole story was tensions building between Moxley and Pac. That was the story of the match. Eventually it boils over, and Pac was pissed off at Moxley. Moxley flips him the bird, hits a finisher, and Pac gets win. So you have Kenny Omega and Adam Page with the victory here. Nice win for the Elite, and sets up Moxley and Pac. And I'm not sure if Dean Ambrose and Adrian never ever had a match in WWE. I'm not sure, but you will get Moxley and Pac. Next, we get to the AEW World Championship. Here we go. Chris Jericho defends his title against Darby Allin in a street fight. Wow, so I like this match. I thought this was a very good matchup here. I was expecting to use all these weapons. They really didn't do that. What they did was they used kendo sticks. That was basically all the weapons they would use. So it was Jericho getting the heat on Allin. Allin hung in there. Allin's a fighter. They kept telling the story of Allin won't quit. Jericho is experienced here, and people say some stuff about Jericho. I've been reading, the guy's out of shape, he has a beer belly. He does, but the guy's still very entertaining. And I like how they're playing it up now, a little bit of the bubbly, so they're using his real life addiction into the storyline. I thought they had a very entertaining matchup here. It was good. I like the tape spot. Jericho tapes Darby Allin's hands behind his back. Like, he tapes him in the position that you would handcuff someone, so he's defenseless, and Allin has to use his body as offense without, his hands. His hands are useless, so he does a lot of springboard dives. He does a sick sunset flip, which was to hurt, because imagine landing straight on your hands behind you. Man, that must suck. You have to land on your tailbone. He hits Jericho with a lot. He fights him. He kicks his ass for a while. Jericho eventually brings a chair into the ring, but Allin continues to battle. Jericho is almost finished, but he kicks out the last second. Allen's about to put Jericho away, and Hager comes out of nowhere, and Jericho puts Allen in the walls of Jericho, and the referee immediately calls it because Allen really couldn't tap out, but he had no choice because he couldn't move because his hands are tied up. So ref stops at Jericho with the win, and then as soon as he wins, the Inner Circle comes out, Santana, Ortiz, and Sammy Guevara with Hager. They come to the ring, they have champagne, a little bit of the bubbly, they drink, and again, the Inner Circle celebrates as the show goes off the air, and that is the third edition of AEW Dynamite from the city of brotherly love. So I enjoyed the show again. 3 for 3 for AEW, another good show, and I'm really enjoying the product, and I thought Dynamite delivered tonight from Philadelphia, which is a tough crowd. I thought they did a good job.